Yo, guys, what's up? It's your boy Black Heezy, Insights and Chill episode. What episode we on? Episode 4, I believe. I believe we're on episode 4. Yeah. We skipped a week because England were playing last time, but we on episode 4. Today's topic is death and depression. Now, not so much death, but I thought I had to bring in the death subject on it because when you look at depression, actually, what it can really get down to, well, is death. That's when it gets to its most severe state, is obviously death and people taking their own lives. So that's why I wanted to talk about this subject today. Now, it's, as I said before, and I did a little Instagram story about a few hours ago, I said this one's more just going to be a discussion rather than a debate. I ain't trying to debate with no one on this subject because there really isn't anything to debate about. I've just done a lot of research on this topic, and you, the people, voted for this topic and wanted me to speak about it. So if anybody does want to join and does have anything to say about it, then I implore you to just comment here, comment. I'm going to write a comment here saying comment. There's my comment. It says comment, right? There you go. You guys can see it. Comment if you want to join in with the discussion. Okay. But we're just going to get right into this. I took some notes as well this time because it's an important subject. And now let's get straight into this. It was Mental Health Awareness Week a few weeks ago. So, and depression is very much at the forefront of a lot of people's minds at the moment because it's something that I think more and more people are talking about, but not talking about it enough. Okay. So, which is why I wanted to bring it to the forefront because I think it is it's a unique topic in a way. It's quite unique because I'm not going to lie. I was once one of the people that looked at depression and was like, what is this? Like, I was literally like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, what is this fakeness in a way? I was like, what is it? And that was a few years ago. I was just looking at it as something that didn't really exist. And like, whoever had it, like, just needed to man up a little bit, which is the complete wrong way to look at something like that because it's just totally not true. And I'm glad that I've been able to like grow as a person and learn more and actually see what it is. Now I can say I'm not someone that's necessarily suffered from depression myself, but I know people that have. And I think a lot of what people get mixed up by is the difference between sadness and depression. Now, I've been sad. You can be sad when a family member dies, or you can be sad when you don't get the job that you apply for and you put so much work into it. You can be sad when you lose the championship game in the final of your favorite sport or whatever. You can be sad for a few days, right? And it might feel like depression, but depression is when everything right is going for you. Like, you do have that job you wanted. You did win that championship game, right? All of your family members are healthy and you're living your best life. But for some reason, nothing's real. Do you know what I mean? So for some reason, when everything's going right, you're still sad. Now that's what true depression is. That's what depression is. And we look at it, how it comes. Here you go. I want to say something, right? I necessarily don't think, I've done a lot of research going into this topic, and it's very clear to see that it's an issue that we don't do enough about, right? And it's partly our fault and it's partly the system's fault. Now I can say people as a society, men especially, I will say, because it's true, it's men especially, but people as a whole, right? As humans, yeah, we want to be strong. Like, do you know what I mean? It's in our nature to like act the toughest, right? Be the strongest. We don't want to show weakness, right? So when people look at depression, especially people suffering from depression, right? It's usually seen as a weakness. People think it's a weakness, but here's the question. You don't have to be the weak, let somebody else be stronger, right? That's what I'm saying. People always see it as, and especially men, because men are supposed to be the bigger, stronger, more dominant. And and when you live in societies like, let's look at, societies where it's very, very dominant on strong male figures. Like, you can look at, and again, I'm regurgitating this from research, but I know looking at African societies as well, men suffering from depression, they don't speak up about it because that's not how you're supposed to be. Like, do you know what I mean? So, and that's why it's become a problem where is people don't speak about it. If you have it, you need to speak up about it, right? Because that's the way people are gonna learn and understand. Now, I also, you know, see the side, you know, say for example, right? If I got a broken arm, my arm's broken, yeah, right? What's my if I'm a little kid, yeah, what's my mum gonna do? What's my dad gonna do, right? They're gonna rush me to the hospital because I got a broken arm. Yeah, or you know what I mean? It's very visible. People can see that my arm is dead. Yeah, it's messed up. But like, I'm like, when you have something like depression, people can't necessarily see that. You understand what I'm saying? People can't necessarily see that you have depression because a lot of people with depression, they tend to hold it in. You know, they hold it in and they don't let their true feelings come out. So people don't necessarily see that you're someone that has this mental illness, because that's what it is. It's a form of mental illness, right? So people don't necessarily see that you have this depression, and therefore it's not talked about, or it can't be dealt with. You know, if you've got a broken arm, it can be dealt with because you can go to the hospital, right? If you've got depression and you don't let nobody know, then it can't be dealt with. Now, when you look at, you know, I also just did a little more research, which was actually quite shocking, right? It was quite shocking. And actually, before I go into this, I want to read a comment by Ollie here, who says, a huge issue is that people not wanting to discuss depression through fear of other people's perception. Now, don't get me wrong. I heard that too, and that's what I'm saying, right? Especially when you look at the male figures, right? They don't necessarily, you don't want to talk about it because you're going to be afraid that people are going to think you're weak. And again, that's what I'm saying. It's the way that we as a society view it. Again, you know, right? Let's look at something. Let's look at another form of mental illness. Yeah, let's look at something like schizophrenia, right? You can be diagnosed. You can be, you know, you never had any form of mental illness. Yeah, you get diagnosed with something like schizophrenia, and then all of a sudden, people start calling you crazy, or people start calling you mad, or like even more derogatory words like retarded or stuff like that, right? Fool, idiot, you know what I mean? But I'm like, if you were a cancer patient, you wouldn't have people calling you those kind of names. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. This is why it's a society thing, and it's quite rightly on what Ollie said, right? It's the fear of people's perception, why people don't necessarily, and that's why we need to change the way we look at things, right? Of course, you know, Ryan says a lot of people don't realize they have it. Now again, that's what it's been spoke. That's why I'm saying people need to speak up about it, because you don't realize you have it. But if you constantly feel, if you're living in a place where you know you should be happy, well, I said all your family members are healthy, right? You know, you're doing everything right. Everything right is going for you in life, but you still feel sad. I mean, that's when you probably should know that you can talk to somebody. Anyway, yo, Ollie wants to join. Right. I'm gonna let Ollie join because he has something to say. Invite to Ollie. I'm waiting for him to join here.
Hello.
Yo, yeah. Ollie, what's good? What's good?
Just cooking at the moment.
Mate, there's something wrong with my Instagram again. I can't see you, but I'm sure the people can see you. But that's good. If the people can see you, then you go ahead and say what you need to say, mate.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, just through friends and family that I know have suffered with the illness. It's not just the people themselves, it's actually the doctors and nurses, not through their own fault, but they haven't had the correct training in terms of being able to understand people with depression, what they're...
Oh wait, I think we lost Ollie. I think we lost him. I'm gonna try and get him back. Hold on 1 second, people. Ollie, I've accepted your request. We lost you for a second there, bro. I apologize. We must have some bad connection. We got you back. Well, Ollie, do you know what? Go eat your food, right? And then come back, and then we can eat your food in like 5 minutes. Yeah, be quick. Eat your food quickly, and then come back, and we'll have you in it. Okay. So I just wanted to move on to something which I found quite shocking. Okay, and this is scientifically proven. Okay, scientifically proven that in 75% of people. Okay, Ollie wants me to try again now quickly, and then I'll go on to the next one. Okay, Ollie, I'm trying again one more time, mate. I'm gonna try again one more time. Hopefully this is the one. Hopefully this is the one. I've invited you. And some people are making some comments here. Thank you. I'm gonna read through your comments after we get Ollie on, and Ollie says what he wants to say. We're just waiting for Ollie to accept the invite here. Okay, no, right. Okay, he's gonna come back. Okay, right. Ollie's going to come back. So no, I was going to say, and we're going to read some of the comments, but let me just say what I was going to say real quick. 75% of people that suffer from depression are in poorer income territories, right? Poorer income territories. And, you know, that's looking like places in Africa, right? You know, and other places that don't necessarily have the same level of income that Western places have. Now, that being said, now listen to this. This is where it gets mad. This is where it gets mad. Right. Did you know, right, that less than 1% of mental health budget in Africa goes towards, no, sorry, less than 1% of health and wellness budget in Africa goes towards mental health. Less than 1%. Less than 1%. In a place where 75% of people that suffer from depression are in lower income territories, less than 1% of health budget in Africa, in many countries in Africa goes towards mental health. I'm sorry, but what kind of foolishness is that? What kind of foolishness is that? And it leads off to what Ollie was saying to me about, you know, the professionals out there aren't, you know, and I don't want to speak on people I don't know. You know, you could be a mental health professional. I'm not dissing you. I'm not dissing you at all. I'm just saying by the general outlook, it looks like. Now, I've spoken to a lot of people like this, done a lot of research in this, is that people aren't necessarily trained up about it. But I also think that people aren't trained up about it because we don't speak about it enough. Now, I'm just going to read through some of these comments here. Right, Homegrown Global says, Black male depression and mental health is a huge issue in Western societies. Unfortunately, racism plays a part. Now, do you know what? I would love you to explain that. I don't know what you mean by that, Homegrown Global. Like, I don't know what you mean by that, but, you know, I think maybe it's because of an issue, you know, Black people. You know what? Homegrown Global, yo, do you want to jump on and talk about this with me? Jump on and talk about this with me if you want, because I see you're still typing. But you know, I'm gonna invite you. I mean, you can reject if you want, but it doesn't look like I can. You can reject if you want, but that's very interesting what you just said there. So I've invited you. I'm gonna hear what you have to say about that. You say in Africa the treatment of mental health and depression is still backwards. Yeah, it is. It is. I've done my research. It is. Yo, what's up? I can't see you, but I'm sure the people can see you. Yo, say what you want to say on this subject. You there? You there? Doesn't look like you're there, man. Doesn't look like you're there. I apologize, bro. But yo, Ollie's back. I'm gonna try to get Ollie one more time. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read. Yo, Ollie,
Hey.
you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yo, Ollie, go ahead. Continue on what you were saying, man.
Okay, so what I was going to say is there's a big issue around sort of staff training within the NHS in terms of how they deal with people that have got depression. So when they're giving them information about their illness, they're doing it as if they were speaking to people without depression. And there's a very different way that you have to talk to people who are suffering with that type of illness. And it's not through any fault of the nurses or doctors, it's through proper training.
You still there, Ollie? Oh, man. I don't know what's going on with the internet today. Yo, people, I apologize, but, yo, Ollie, do you know what? Send me the request. Ollie, you send me the request and then I'll accept. You send me the request and then I'll accept it. Maybe that might change it. So, Homegrown Global, we'll get you on after Ollie, bro. We'll get you on after Ollie. But Ollie, you send me the request. Nah, bro, my internet's good. I don't need to move anywhere. My internet's good. Right, so, yeah, Ollie was just saying it's about training. There's a way to speak to people. Do you know what? I will go inside. I will go inside because maybe that's the issue. Maybe the issue is that I'm not close enough to my router. So here we go. I've gone back inside. People. Right, maybe this is a bit better. Yeah, I'm sorry for the connection issues, people. I'm really sorry. I've invited Ollie again.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah. We just, in case we lose you, just try and go through your points quickly, just in case we lose you.
Okay. So yeah, I think there needs to be sort of a review on the training that staff are getting within the NHS in terms of understanding how to deal with people that have mental illness, and it's not through any fault of their own. I mean, it's a very difficult disease to understand unless you've experienced it firsthand, and that's why obviously the training hasn't been implemented yet. But it needs to happen because I've seen it.
Damn. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know what, Ollie? I apologize, mate. Write your comments. Write your comment, and then I'll read out what you were saying. But Ollie was going on to a very, very good subject. By the way, in case you don't know, guys, Ollie he gives workshops. Ollie gives workshops on depression, and on online forums. So he's very much, out there in the community. He knows what it's about. So he knows what he's talking about on the subject. So Ollie's he's got a lot of knowledge on it. So yeah, he knows what he's talking about. But Ollie, write what you're saying, and I'll read it out to the people here. Okay. Right. We're gonna try and get my guy Home Grow Global out in here because he was saying something about race. So let's. I've invited you, mate. Let's see if you can join. Again, if you can join, just go through it quickly because we might lose you. There's something up with the internet today, so we might lose you. So if you accept, which I've invited you, just go through it quickly. This guy was saying stuff about, depression and in African societies and black male societies, and he thinks it's got something to do with racism, which I'm interested to hear about. So I've accepted your request. Mate, he's unable. Oh, gosh. Bro. All right, come on. Accept.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello, man. Hello. Yo, just in case we lose you, go through your points quickly because we might lose you, okay? So go through.
Okay. So a couple of things. In a society,
man, I don't know what's going on today, people. Yo, do you know what? I'm so sorry. Do you know, it's obviously my internet connection is messing up, but do you know what? I'm going to read through some of these comments. And so let's just scroll up because we're losing people. So Vic says, we're taught on how to troubleshoot the physical illness. We are never taught to look out for certain things, and it's too late until we realize. Sorry, let me read that again. I don't know why. I was just going forward. Yeah, let me read that again. I'm sorry. We're taught how to troubleshoot the physical illness. Never are we taught what to look out for, and only when it's too late do we realize. Vic, I totally agree with that. It's only until it's too late until we realize the cause of the problem, right? Or the severity of the problem. As I said, the title of this was Death and Depression, and death comes from the very, very highest level of what depression can get people to, what state it can get people to. So Vic, I agree with that. Home Grow Global says black male depression and mental health is a huge issue in Western societies, and unfortunately racism has a big part to play. We try to hear what you have to say on that. Mate, please comment so I can read out what you really have to say. I'm sorry that we couldn't get you on, but I'm very interested to hear what you definitely have to say about that, because that's a very interesting one. Vix then says again, the first time I was asked by my doctor, he said, you're probably just stressed out. Just sleep better. Again, and I think this is what Ollie was trying to say. People just generally just dismiss it because, it's like when when you say to people, you know, I got serious problems here, like, you know, I don't know how to cope with it, people generally will look at you and say, there are people with bigger problems in this world, just deal with it. And that's not necessarily the best way to go about it. And I'm sorry to hear that Vic had to go through something similar where a professional said, just sleep better. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know, other people have said this to me before while I was preparing for this live today. And again, that's an issue. You know, we need to speak up about it more, but people need to be more aware of it. People that are in the profession. So Vic, thank you for that. Georgia says, it's also common when things suddenly go wrong for people, i.e. death of a family member or breakdown in relationship. She then goes on to say as well that, and even if someone has overcome one spell of depression, they can still suffer from it again later in life, which is so true. Again, it's so true. And, you know, I've been speaking to people in preparation for this that have been suffering with depression for up to 7 years. You know what I mean? And it can go on for longer. Now, of course, people like to say that time is the best form of any kind of, you know, time is some, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, if over time you start to get over things, is basically what I'm trying to say. But of course, little flashes and things can come back, you know. And I was saying, you know, it's interesting what Georgia just had to say then, because, you know, in some cases, I understand that it can be depression, but in a lot of cases, you know, people mix up sadness and depression. So in those kind of cases, you know, when you lose a loved one, that's generally sadness. But when it continues over time and you have everything going right for you in your life, but you're still upset, that's when we kind of need to look at depression and open up to it a bit more. Kwame has commented here as well. Kwame said to me, a great example, like this is the America video. Okay, this is good, Kwame. From Childish Gambino, there was a scene where a guy fell from the sky, and I was realizing that some people in America, they don't think it's a serious problem. And you know, I remember that scene, right? And you know, we're going to talk about social media. So what Kwame is talking about is that you guys probably all seen the This Is America video by Childish Gambino. And there's a part in the video where a guy kind of he falls off a ledge basically. I don't know if he's committing suicide or whatever, but he falls off a ledge and people are recording it with their phones. People are legit just recording it with their phones. And you know, social media, we live in a life, right, where, and I've just done a documentary partly on this, is about social media can cause us to feel depressed, and it can, you know, social media is supposed to be this great, cool thing, which it is, but at the same time, when we look at the way people utilize it, right, and especially young people, and how they can be manipulated through social media, that's another cause of severe depression. And I've actually done a documentary. I'm going to advertise it a little bit. I have done a documentary, guys. I'm going to give a little plug at the end, but it's a good one, Kwame. Remy agrees with what Georgia said. Yep, that's definitely true. We're going to try and look at some other comments here. Remy also says there's different approaches to treating depression, different types of therapy. Like Ollie said, so I probably need to be trained to be able to recommend what people need. And of course, I was speaking to one of my friends, you know, that didn't want to join because she's a bit too shy, but she did a thesis on this, right, in university. She actually did a paper on depression, and it's a lot about personality types as well, different personality types. So there can be real strong people, you know, you can be the strongest, biggest bad boy in the world, you know what I mean, and you're not going to talk about it. So there's a different way of dealing with that to someone that's a bit more timid. And you know, it's the whole nurture thing. You're born into this world, but the way you're nurtured, and even nature as well. And I'm not saying that's what it's all to do about, but it's partly as well. You have to look as partly. So there's different ways to treat it. It's not like if I got a broken arm, if my arm is broken, right, my arm's blood clot broken. So I'm going to treat it in one way. Okay, it can be broken. I can have a broken my elbow. I could be broken my forearm. But at the end of the day, my arm's broken, and people know how to generally treat it. It's not like a mental illness where you know, I'm different from Remy. You know, Remy has a different personality to me. So if I'm depressed, right, it needs to be treated, and people don't necessarily know that. Okay, Vic again says There's also hypermasculinity in men now that, again, and he says especially black males, from my experience, where we're just expected to be strong and be quiet. And you know what, Vic, again, I watched a video on this, black African males, right? You know, there's a sense in, you know, for people that aren't necessarily, you know, you're not black, you don't understand the culture of it, the African culture of it. It's like that, right? And this, you know, I'm regurgitating from a TED talk that I listened to from a black man from Nigeria. So this is coming from his words, not my words, but a black man from Nigeria that says, I'm supposed to be seen as a strong alpha male, but really I'm depressed and I don't know how to deal with it. So again, it's what I was saying at the very beginning. It's like, we need to speak out, and we need to stop having the stigma, like, you know, of feeling weak. So, yeah, there's a lot to talk about, people. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think it's been a very good topic. I'm sorry for the people that I couldn't get on. I mean, we'll try one more time if people are still around. I'm gonna try one more time to get Home Grow Global on, just one last time, mate. I know we're still watching, so I've invited him one more time before we leave here. I hope you can get on. I'm really sorry. It is my internet, obviously, is what's messing up. If we couldn't get you on before, we couldn't get Ollie. It is my internet that's messed up a little bit. But I've sent the invite. So Homegrown Global what he had to say was about again, racism, and I really want to hear what you have to say about racism. Are you on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So just quickly, I don't want to lose you. So quickly, talk about racism quickly.
Very quickly, as you know, racism affects black people. And when you live in a racist society as a black male, that does not allow you to express yourself fully as a black male, to achieve completely your full potential of a black male. This can affect you in terms of your self-worth.
Yo, okay, right. We lost him, but I know where he was going at. Yo, mate, sorry, I don't know your name, bro. Bro, I do not know your name. I really apologize for that. But I definitely see where you were going at with that. And I think you have a point. You know, we live right. Okay, let me accept this. He just sent me an invite here. I'm just accepting it. But I see where you're going at, bro. Like, I see where you're going at.
Yeah. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Continue.
Yeah. So you cannot achieve as a male in the society, which means that you become a useless person. This affects your mental health and your mental being. It's difficult for you to get a job because of racism. It's difficult to reach your full potential in education because of racism. All this affects who you are as a man.
Man, yo, damn. Homegrown Global, please, let's talk after this, right? Let's talk after this. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say, and I'm gonna make sure. Okay, like we're gonna accept you again. Come on, we're gonna keep accepting you because I'm very curious. As a black man myself, obviously, I want to hear what you have to say.
Also, if you come from Africa, you live in Africa, you grow up with the knowledge that as a man you're to provide. You need to be strong. There's no room for being weak in any way. And this can play on your mind heavily as a young man growing up within the society. And if you come from an impoverished society, this exacerbates this feeling and makes it worse. So it's doubly hard as a black male trying to grow up in the world. But like you said, we have to nevertheless.
Yo, just finish up. Yo, come on, join one more time. I need you to finish up. I will need you to finish up what you're saying here, brother. I need you to finish up. I'm going to invite you one more time. Here you go. This is it. This is the last one. I'm going to need you to finish on this one right here, bro. Finish on this one right here.
Yeah, our mental health is our own responsibility. Nobody's going to look after our mental health for us. 1 in 4 of us is going to have some mental health issues at some point. And just like a cold or other things, we have to know about mental health. We have to learn about it. We have to understand it so that we can find ways to help ourselves and support each other. This is massively important, and I'm very happy that you've brought this issue up. There's lots more to talk about, but hey, you know, don't forget that slavery, the slavery which has been built into our genes and our DNA because of our history of slavery, we're
gonna have to talk about that another time, because I'm real interested, and that's a subject for of mental health. Of course, it's about mental health and depression, but okay, man. Well, I'm just gonna let you, this is gonna be the last one. This is gonna be the last one. This is gonna be the last one, and then we have to go. This is gonna be the last one, but we have to go after this. We have to go about it. We have to go after this. But go on, finish up.
Yeah. So because of that, we're gonna have to find ways to heal ourselves, to make ourselves strong and powerful, and to overcome. We need to become mentally sound, mentally strong. And mental health is not an issue we should run away from. It's an issue we should support each other with love and understanding and compassion in order to make ourselves strong as black males. It happens to all males, but you know, I'm talking particularly about black males. Thank you.
Brother, thank you for that. We need to talk afterwards. Thank you for that. So he just, you know, and it's a good point to end on, you know, and my brother, I don't know his name, but I'll gather his name. He was talking specifically about black males, and you know, and he spoke a little bit about, you know, racism and that, but he had a good point to end on. And I'm going to say this for everyone, is that we need to learn to love each other, respect each other, and we need to talk about mental health and depression as one. And that's the way we're going to go through it. Don't try to be strong. Don't try to be strong for the next man. You need to be strong for your own damn self. And the way to be strong for your own damn self is to talk about it. Now, people, Black Heezy, that's Insights and Chill. Insights and Chill. Kwaku. Oh. Okay, right. People, we need to, all right. We gotta talk about yo, I know this person very well, actually. I know this person very well. I couldn't see this person. If I could see the person who was saying it, yeah. But I actually know the person very well. I couldn't see the person, I know the person very well. But yo, anyway, we need to talk about it. We need to respect each other. We need to love each other, and we need to go forward as one people, okay? As one person. So, yo, just before we end, I have a documentary coming out. It's called Why So Social. It's part 1 of my documentary. It's 20 minutes. I've finished it. It looks at anxiety and depression in young people amongst social media. Okay, it also looks at the feeling of not wanting to be left out. And I've interviewed a bunch of people. I've been up and down the country. I put a lot of work into it, and I'm going to be dropping the documentary in the next couple weeks. Okay, it's finished, it's done. You know, I'm just thinking about the best way to release it. So watch out for that. That's Why So Social. I've been saying for the last 4 weeks, it's coming soon. People, it's finally here. Part 1 is finally here, and we're gonna drop that on you. So people, one love, peace out, Black Heezy, safe.